Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. Another obscure, out of left field video today. I want to share with you guys another knife I just picked up for the collection. This one here is another DH-Gate special. Now, I'm not sure as far as branding, so I don't know if this is actually a legitimate, if this is the legitimate brand or not. But this is what they call, and correct me if I'm wrong, and it's their Cold Steel makes one called the Espada. And I believe Espada is kind of a large Spanish blade they used for like self-defense. They were gigantic knives. People, I guess, would carry these as for a self-defense weapon. What a time, right? And read more about that. I'm just giving you what I can recall, right? So Cold Steel does make a gorgeous knife called the Espada, and that was showcased in the movie The Expendables. If you remember the original Expendables, when I think Mickey Rourke pulls it out of his boot, flips it open, then throws it at the dartboard. Pretty cool scene, and it was an awesome looking knife. Now that knife, as beautiful as it is extremely expensive. You're going to be paying over $300 for that. And I just can't rationally spending that on a big, giant, beautiful knife, right? Some of you may. I mean, you never know. Maybe I'll change my tune someday. But Cold Steel has made its cheaper kind of counterpart, and that's their Voyager. It's smaller. It's still a pretty large knife, but it's a little bit smaller and definitely not as gorgeous. But you do get that huge knife at a fraction of the cost. When I say fraction, I mean still about 170 bucks. Now, these are actually sold on DH-Gate. I don't know, a lot of times things are made in different parts of the world. Patents run out, that kind of stuff. I don't really know whether this is a legitimate brand of Cold Steel, just a lot cheaper because you don't have the markup, or if this is a copy. But this is what they call their large Cold Steel folding pocket knife. And this is, they don't have the name listed here, but on the knife, this is it here, on the knife, they call it the Raja. I think I'm saying that right. It's R-A-J-A-H, and they call this number 2. So this is a huge knife. Now, if you haven't checked out my other video I did on the Voyager, check that out. The Voyager, same knife, just it's smaller. And I cannot believe how large this is compared to my other knife, because my other Voyager, it's a massive, massive knife. Super sharp, actually a little bit dangerous, So, guys, gentlemen, don't be flipping this around. I saw one girl reviewing stuff, and oh my God, I cringed watching it. So, these knives are not meant to be flipped open like you would just your smaller pocket knives, right? These are dangerous knives, right? So, I'm very careful when I have anything like this. Generally, it's not something I carry all the time. So, I'm like the EDC everybody likes to do videos on. But it's still cool. I want to have one for my collection, right? So it does have a flippable clip here, depending on if you're right-handed or left-handed. I had to check a couple of videos to make sure this was installed correctly. So the idea with this knife is that it has a pocket clip on there. And again, depending on your pockets, this is meant to go in your pocket. You might be saying, that's a gigantic knife. How is that comfortable? It is pretty comfortable. Let me get back a little bit here. So the idea in this is when you pull this out, you pull back, and you let it catch the clip, and it pops the knife open. Now, I've seen other people on YouTube do this with a little more finesse. At this point, I would just kind of flip it, right? And then you're left with this enormous monstrosity of a knife. I mean, it is absolutely huge. I'm not sure what you call this blade. I know, there's lots of you guys probably don't watch this video and tell me, yeah, I know the name. You just Google it. I didn't Google it beforehand. I got the knife, wanted to do the video. So, super sharp. I mean, the first time I got the Voyager, I was messing with it like I told you, just kind of flipping it open. And they're not really meant to do that. And it came back down and took the end of my finger off. So I'm extremely careful with these things. I don't even mess with it. I don't play around with it. It's just something I carry, and if I need a gigantic knife, I have it. Most of these things we get, guys, are just, we're guys, right? These are just cool things to have. And I know you ladies out there, too. I just subscribed to some chick reviewing this stuff, and I normally don't get sucked into subscribing to channels because there's a pretty girl in there. But what can I say? I'm a dude. So anyway, she reviewed the Espada. This is a massive, massive knife. I like the fact it's got kind of a pinky thumb grip, or not thumb, pinky grip right in the end there. You have a lot of different areas to grab this, which are pretty cool. For your index finger, I would think this is for your pinky, more of like, I'm not going to demonstrate any kind of crazy stupid shit, right? Some dudes are on here slashing and shit. I'm not, okay? It's just a knife. So, if I needed this, I don't know why I would need this, to be honest with you. I don't see any reason for me to even have this, but I like it, so what can I say? You know, it's kind of funny when, you know, you carry a little pocket knife. So it's like, hey, got a knife and you need to cut this. And I'm like, I pull out this gigantic monstrosity. It's like, Jesus. But nonetheless, it is pretty cool. And the price point is here, if you want to pick this up, I will put a link in the description. You can get this, guys, $16.92. Now, I know a lot of you will be like, yep, that's definitely, you know, I don't know, you know, who's making that or what. All I can tell you is that's what it says on the knife. It does say cold steel. It does say the Raha too. You know, and honestly, the quality compared to, I've been a fan of cold steel for a long time. You know, I have many Gerber cold steels, and honestly, remember, a lot of things come from overseas, and a lot of times these things are marketed, and we pay for that huge markup for the name. You know, hint, hint, Rolex. You know, the quality is there. I mean, honestly, maybe, I don't know if, you know, there's other brands out there, whatnot, that, you know, you might want to pay $300 for. It might be a lot better. I can't imagine it would be. I know a lot of times the quality of the stainless is different. I mean, for what I'm going to be using this for, if ever, it really is, it's meaningless to me. So, overall, great quality knife. Huge, huge, huge. If you are looking for a massive, and be careful closing this badass knife. You know, everything about this, I can tell. I compare this to my Gerbers and Buck. You know, the quality is there. I mean, there's nothing really. You can't really knock this apart and say, "Oh man, this isn't gonna last." Like, this is a great quality knife. I can't see anything wrong with it. Now, I will say I have had knives off eBay and stuff like that. That in time, you know, some of the screws loosen up, and that's maybe something that if you get a legitimate, a higher quality brand. I'm not saying this one, but you might find that maybe they're using Loctite. These are all things you can do. If you notice, you know, screws coming loose on any of this stuff because you use it more often, you know, unscrew it, put a little Loctite on it, put it back together, and you'll be good to go. Maintaining the blade, a good sharpening stone is all you really need. A little bit of experience, not a big deal. I mean, you should see some of the knives we use on the boat when we're out there crabbing. I mean, it's like we bought these little $2 like neon green knives. I always joke around my friend about it, being like, "You're stealing my knife, they're all rusted." I mean, that's what we use half the time, you know. But nonetheless, still a great quality knife. You really can't go wrong. It only gets 2 stars on DHgate, which I'm really surprised why it got such a low rating. But you know, maybe they didn't have a lot of reviews. It looks like they haven't had many reviews on it. I'll have to go ahead and pump up that number a little bit because it is a nice quality knife. If you want to get into black, you get the black blade or you get the stainless silver blade. It's more of like a sandblasted, almost like acid etched, if I'm saying that right, blade. It's not shiny. It's got kind of a matte finish to it. The black's pretty cool too, but black, you know, it shows everything. If you're going to use it, it's kind of scuffing, get kind of beat up. I opted for the silver one, right? You can always take a little steel wool to it or whatnot, clean it up. So pretty cool. If you want to buy more than 62 pieces, you can get these for $16.15. And you know what? And there's actually a change on here. It looks like this knife here on this listing I'm looking at, they upped the minimum quantity on it. So I will put the link in the description where you can pick this up. There's tons of people selling this exact knife on DHgate, on eBay, where you can get it. Here's another one, 26 bucks. So the price might jump up a little bit there, but just kind of keep that in mind. If you want to go ahead and get the old school, they call it the Cold Traveler now on the Voyager style knife, $21. So, you know, it's amazing what you can get off some of these websites. I'll put the links to both. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to ask. I'm always here to help. Drop me a comment, drop me an email if you do like the content, subscribe. And if you have this knife or like this knife or have any you know, comments about this knife, drop me a comment. I'd love to hear about it. So you guys have a good day and take care.